Hi everyone, welcome back again. So this video I'm going to show you how to build a to-do application using Django and Htmx instead. So you might be wondering what is Htmx. I'm going to explain what that is to you. So with Htmx, whatever action that is being carried out on this application, those actions, none of them is going to trigger a page reload. You understand? So right now I'm going to show you some. So right now we're going to perform some actions right away. Okay, now I'm going to add a new item. I could just say take a nap. So take a nap right now. Once I click on the add button, it won't reload the page, but the to-do is going to get updated instead. So if I click on the add button right now, you can see we have taken up there was no page reload instead. So I can decide to update a given to-do. So we just say play PS4, just watch here, this will be updated. Click on add, that's done. I could just say come over here, I could say learn JavaScript instead. So once I click on the add button, it has been updated instead. So it's working fine, right? I could decide to delete a given to do, and you can see it's asking, do you want to delete PS4? If I click on OK, PS4 is gone. You understand? So right now I'm going to show you something in the back end. So right now, all these are our to. Let me just refresh the page. These are the to do items now, and each of them are all not completed. You understand? So they are all not completed. With a safe book, it is not completed. So go back. So I'm going to just be sure that none of them is completed. Not completed. Then JavaScript not completed too, you understand? So over here we are going to complete each of these to-dos now. If I click on this checkbox, completed, go back here, refresh the page. We have learn JavaScript and learn Python. These two have been completed from the front end. You can see. If I come over to learn JavaScript, also completed. All these things are happening on the front end without any form of page reloading. That's thanks to Htmx. So what is Htmx? From the website, it says Htmx gives you access to Ajax, CSS transitions, WebSocket, and server-side events directly in HTML simply by using their attributes. You understand? So with Htmx, you can make Ajax requests to the backend without having to write JavaScript codes. You understand? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to implement Htmx in Django. You understand? So it's going to be an exciting time. So without further ado, we are getting started right now. One more good thing about HTMX is that HTMX returns HTML from the server. You understand? So with that, it makes it more easier to be able to update your web application. You understand? You know, Ajax and some other stuff, they return JSON, but this one returns HTML from the server. That's beautiful. You understand? So I'm going to show you how everything works. So now right now, let's start writing the codes. Okay, right away, all we have here is just a simple web page rendering some to-do items. What we have on the screen now. So I've already built this up. So nothing is working here yet. Nothing is going on here. Instead, we click here, nothing happens. Instead, just click back. Nothing is happening here yet. So what we want to do now is I want to be able to like add. We want to be able to like add to-do items, but this time we're going to be using Htmx alongside Django, not just Django. Understand? So we want to do that right away now. So I'm going to go down to Htmx document to their site, the website. So click on the docs, click on it over here, click on the docs link. So you need to like connect to Htmx through the CDN. You understand? So this is the CDN script here. And so you can see what it says here. You can simply add this script tag to the S section of our base template. So I'm going to do that right away. So right now, let's get started. So our base templates, scroll down. Okay, I think just here. Okay, let me just do that here. It has been added. This is over here. Okay, we have that already now. So we're going to go down to Htmx now. So okay, so once we've done that, the next thing we want to do now is this. We want to be able to do what? Add some to do items whenever we click on this button. Understand? So we are going to go down to the form. We are going to go down to the form that holds that input field. Okay, let me close some stuff. I think everything is looking quite messy. Understand? So the form that owns that holds the input field. You understand? So that should be on tax list.html. Yeah. So right now, this is our form. This is the form over here. This section here is a form. I'm going to remove this post. I need to remove it. We don't need it. Method. We are going to remove that method post there. Okay, now right now what we're going to do now, so we're going to start writing some HTMX attributes instead. So the first one is going to be hx post. So when I want to send a post request to a certain URL, so we're going to create that URL right now. I'm going to give that URL. Let me just call the URL this name. So gonna be URL, and I'm gonna simply just say create task. So now I'm gonna create this URL right away. So right now I'm gonna send a post request to this URL to create a new task, a new to do. You understand? So okay, I'm gonna create a, let me create a URL and also the views. Okay, I'll put this on the side now. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to say path. I'm going to create that URL and I'll call it, let's just say, let me just say task slash create. Understand? So that was it. And I'm going to say views dot, let me just call it task create, task underscore create. And right now the name should be equal to, the name must be equal to create task. Understand? The name here, Ctrl C. Let me just make sure it's the same thing and paste. Okay, that's it now. So let's go create the views. Task create. If you don't create the views, it's going to show some error. I'm going to simply remove these guys. We don't need them. Okay, gonna call it, this is not too small. Hope my font size is not too small. Okay, I think it seems too big. Let's go down back. Okay, I'll say it is called task create. I'm gonna pass the requests. Understand? So we're gonna simply, let's return for now. Let's return render. We're gonna return the same stuff. For now, I'm going to explain more. So right now, where is our, so back to our form. So now we're going to send a post request to this URL. So what is going to trigger this post request? What is going to trigger is when we submit the form, right? So you're going to say hx trigger. So we're going to trigger this with a submit event. Remember, forms are being triggered through a submit event. So after I might have made the post request through a submit event, what's the next thing? Once we simply be able to like get the old to-dos from the database, and then we render this white, the whole of this white divs, these two divs. Once we render it, understand? So that's what we want to do now. So now we are going to simply target the div. So the div that holds, this is the div over here. This to-do container you have here. This to-do container is the div. Is the div that holds these two white boxes, the upper and the lower boxes, understand? So right now let's continue. So now I'm going to target this container. I want to re-render this container. So I need to give this container an ID, because HTMX captures by ID. I'm going to give it ID. I'm going to give it the same name. ID should be equal to do container, because HTML captures by ID. Okay, now it's just the ID now. So I'm going to simply just come here and say hx target. So our target is to get back, is to replace this container with a result from the server. I'm going to show you how it's going to go now. So I'm going to say hs target should be equal to, okay, I'm going to say to do container. Once we've done that, now we have what we call hx swap. So this hs swap, on default, hs swap simply helps to fill the contents of what you are targeting. On default, it helps to fill in the contents of what you are targeting. You understand? So right now I want to fill up the whole container. I want to replace, I want to swap it out with a new container. You understand? So that's what I want to do now. So I'm going to just say equal to outer HTML, outer HTML. The default is called inner HTML. You understand? So I'm going to explain what is happening here again. So this to do container right here is what holds this upper white box and the lower white box, our search field and the list of to-do items. That's what this to do container is. You understand? So, and over here from our views.py, this tax list.html, this tax list.html is a to-do container itself that holds these two. Understand? Why the background you see here is coming from our base.html, but you can see as for these two white boxes, it is inside of our to-do container. Understand? That to-do container. So we want to now simply swap it out with another to-do container. All we are trying to do here, we want to simply swap it out. Okay, sorry, that was what I want to do over here now. So now I've made my post request. Whenever we submit the form, okay, so what's the next thing? So I need to just add a required to this place. Let me just add required. So you can't submit the form if you don't have a value in this input field instance. So the browser now, this is what we have. This is our input field now. So I'm gonna, if you click now, sorry, you need to add a CSRF token to your form. It's important. CSRF token. Okay, refresh this page, click on add. Okay, so now I'm going to just say learn to code. So once I click on this, once I submit this now, so right now I want to get this value. I want to get this value on the back end. So how do I go about that now? So from our input field, our inputs, I'm going to give it a name attribute. Name, I'm going to call this, I'm going to give this name, I'm going to give it a value of tax. So now I'm going to get the value of this, a value from this field through this name attributes. So I'm going to go down to my views now. So these are the views that are going to get the value from the input field. I'm going to just come and say task underscore name should be equal to request dot post dot get, and I'll say task. Remember, the name attribute of the field is called the name attribute. The value is called task. So I'm simply trying to get the value of this field using this name attribute. That's how it's being done. So now I'm going to get the value now. As soon as I get the value now, I'm going to just come over here and say task should be equal to, let me just say what was the next thing now? Just say task should be equal to tax.objects.create, and I'll say title from our models.py file. Let me show what it looks like. These are models.py file title. You can see what we are trying to do now. So others already have some values by default, but we want to give this title a value itself. So I'm going to say title should be equal to task underscore name. Understand? So once we've done this already now, we're going to simply return all the tags from our database, and the tag should be equal to task.objects.all. We're going to create a context dictionary. Now say task. Now say this. Okay, that's fine. So now I told you before, this task.html you see here is actually this white div, these two boxes. Understand? That's what it is now. So right now I'm going to simply remember this HTML now has our task. We have passed it in here. So now I'm going to simply replace what we have on the page with this. I'm going to simply swap it out again with the same div, but this time our template is going to be updated. It's going to have all the old taxes in the database. Understand? So right now we're able to create our tags with these views now. So now let's see if it works. Understand? So to the browser, just refresh the page to be on the safe side. So I'm going to say learn to code. Click on add. Boom, you can see it's added without the page reloading. That's because what happened here is this now. I'm going to explain it again so you get to understand what I'm doing. So now I said now these are our form now. So right now we have to send a post request to this URL. We created the URL and then the view for that URL, and what triggers this post request is a submit event, and we are targeting a to-do container. So that the to-do container is up here. This is it. You can see the container. You can see we have our search field inside of it, and we have our to-do items just inside of it also. That's so the container is what is housing these two white boxes. Don't worry about the background. The background is from our base.html. So what I did now is this. Now I have to send the post request to the view, to this view over here that we created for that URL. This is the view. So the view now created a new to do, and then we have to get all the to dos we have from our database and then put in the context. And remember this tags.html, you can see this is the index. This is the tags list. This is what renders out what we have here. But right now, whenever we create a new to do, we simply replace this also with itself. But this time, this second one has been updated with the recent to do that was added. This second template has been updated with the recent to do that was added, and we have to now swap out what we have before with a new to do container again. But this time it has been updated. You understand? That's what is happening. So now let's just add on one more to do item. I could just say play PS5, click on the add button. It's been added. There was no page reload. So the next one to do now is for us to like update a given to do instance. So that's the right way. So what we want to achieve now is whenever we click on this button, we want to simply get this to do item to appear inside of this form field, this input field. So let's go and do that right away. So our code now. So these are our to do items here. This is the pen icon. The pen icon. So right now, simply remove this A tab. We don't need it again. This time I'm using the Htmx. Understand? Htmx is making things. I'm loving it. I'm loving all my tutorials now. We're going to be using the Htmx in with Django. You get so. Okay, so we have this now. What do you want to do now? We're going to send a get request because I want to just simply place these guys in this field. Whenever I click on this icon, it's going to be a get request and not a post. And you understand? So I'm going to say hx get. Now I'm going to simply create a URL for this. I could just come here and say URL and just say append to do. So let's go create a URL quickly. Let's end there. But let me just say task/append. The view should be called task/append. I also want to get the ID. I think tax. The ID is also important. So I'm gonna put int pk. Now say /append. So now just come over here and say views.task/append, and the name should be equal to what we have here, append to do. So let me just click append task, or okay, let's just call it task append. That's better. Let's just follow the same sequence. Please, if you're getting some value, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. We want to hit 5k subscribers before the end of this month. Let's do that. So the same name should be equal to tax append. So we have that already. Okay, now so what we want to do now? Okay, hx get. So we're going to trigger this alias request using a click event rather. I'm going to say hs trigger should be a click event. And what are we targeting? We're targeting the input field. These are what we are targeting. So now let's go pick up the input field. This is the input field here. I'm going to give it an ID. And just say ID should be equal to inputs. Understand? So we're targeting that. We'll say hx target. HS target should be equal to input. I want to swap it out. I want to simply swap the input. I want to like swap it out with a new input. You know, we want to swap it out instead. So I'm going to just come over here and say hs swap outer HTML. hx swap should be equal to outer HTML. Okay, so that was that. So now let's see. So now let's go create a view for this URL of tax append. Tax append request, and this time it's going to have a PK, primary key. Understand? So that's what we are going to do now. So what we're going to do now, okay, before I forget, remember this URL now requires a primary key. Go down to your tax.html. we are going to pass that primary key. This is the URL tax append here. So I'm going to pass tax.id. That's important. Tax.id. So to the views now, that we're going to get to the views. Come over here and we'll say tax should be equal to tax.object.get. You're going to say id equal to pk. Understand? So once we've gotten this now, what is the next thing? So right now we want to simply return a response, and so I'm going to say return. I'm going to return right now. We're going to simply, what I want to do now, I want to simply update a fragment, just this input field. So we cannot right now, we cannot render a template. We're going to return an HTTP response because we're trying to just replace a small fragment, just this input field. So we can't return a whole template. We're going to simply return HTTP response. I'm going to simply say import HTTP response. Okay, we have it there. So I'm going to say return HTTP response. So okay, I'm going to have a formatted string. So how to use, so right now I'm going to use the triple formatted string just because we might have multiple lines. Okay, so now I'm going to simply come over to my task list now, and I'll simply copy that input field. This is the input field here. Ctrl C, copy it. So I want to swap it out with a new one. Understand? That's what we are trying to do now. Copy it and I'll paste it here. I told you that HTMX returns HTML. That's the good thing about it. That's one of the most beautiful things I love about it. So now we have that here now. So I'm going to okay now. Once you have that now, I'm going to simply just come here and pass a value. The value should be equal to, I'll say tax.title. Understand? Sorry, the value should be equal to, let me just say task.title. Okay, I hope this works. I hope it works. Now what we did now is this now. Let me explain what is happening. Okay, let me be sure. Let's see if it works. Click on any of the icons. Oh, it's not giving us the full stuff. What's happening? It's working, but it's not giving us the full. Let me be sure. Let's print it out. Let's print tax.title. Print tax.title. If it's giving us the full stuff. This time refresh the page. Maybe you need to refresh to make sure everything works well. Okay. Oh, my internet is down. Sorry, my network went off. My internet connection went off. It's back again. So refresh this page. Remember, HTMX, you're using a CDN. You must be connected to the internet instead, and you can see my icons are all gone. That's because my network was down. I'm using a CDN for all this stuff. So let's try again. The same thing. Let's see what it's giving us on the. It's giving us the complete stuff on our console. Let me reload the page. Try again. Go to school. Oh, I don't know what the problem is. Because see, it's giving us complete stuff on the terminal. We'll find what the issue is right now. It's still working. It's still adding all the items at once. You can see it's showing up everything. I can't think what is going on, but I guess maybe my system was kind of disconnected for a while, but it's working perfectly now. Instead, this is the value, tax.title. We've been able to append this to the input field. So while we're doing this, we want to be able to edit this. We want to be able to like edit these taxes. Understand? So as we are doing this now, so the first step is to get them to appear in the input field instead. So it's working right now. So let me just recap what we did. Here. Remember, this is the pen icon. Remember, we had to send a GET request. Because right now we are not updating the database, so we don't need to use post. So we have to send a GET request. Understand? And whenever we click, this GET request is being sent again. So our target was the input field because it's by the ID, and then we have to swap it out with a new input field from the server with a new input field, and this time this input field also comes to the title. Understand? So that was happening over here. So next thing is I want to simply update this task. If I click on this add button, if I click on this add now, it's going to simply add up a new to do item. If I click on it now, you can see it has added it again. But right now, whenever we have a to do item like this up here, I want to simply update and not add up. If I click here, it's going to add it up. No, this is not what I want to do. I want to simply update it. So now I'm going to go down to my server, to my Django admin, and delete the play PS5. Should be gone. Go to school. Just remove these two. So I'm going to simply update and not add. So what I'm going to do now is this. Now we're going to simply add a new input field here. So right now I'm going to add a new input field. So now I'm going to just put enter and I'll paste this here. This input field now, so I'm going to explain what is happening over here. So now we have this input field. The input is hidden, you can't see it. Understand? So the value is tax.id, that's the value of the input field. And once again, the name is called tax_id. Understand? So with this input field now we can detect, we can simply, what's going to happen is that we are going to detect, we are going to know whether we are to add a new to do or simply update the existing one. How is going to happen over here. So now I'm going to just I'll just simply remove this hidden so you can see what it looks like on the page. I'll just refresh. Okay, click again. You can see now it has this two, it has this input field and also this one within the add button. If I come over here, you can see instance. So I want to achieve now, but right now it's going to be hidden. So hidden, so you don't get to see it, but it is there. If I click now, can't find it, but it is there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the, so now whenever we click on the add button now, I want to make sure that it does not add up. It simply tries to update. If I come over here and change this to learn to dance is meant to update learn to code, right? But if I click on add, it has added it again. So our goal is to make sure it updates learn to code and not add up a new to do item. So now let me remove learn to dance. If you're getting some value, please subscribe. The goal is to hit 5k subs before the end of this month, so help me achieve it. Thank you. Okay, refresh. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go down to our tax crate and we're going to check if this div exists. If it exists, instead, how do we check? We're going to check by this tax, by the name attribute. So we're going to come over here and say, let's say if request dot post dot get tax_id. I told this by the name attribute tax_id. So if it exists, that means we are meant to update. Instance, I'm going to simply just get, I'm going to say tax_id should be equal to, so right now, I'm going to simply just get the value of that input field and place it into a variable called tax ID. What I'm going to do, so once I've done that, I'm going to simply get the tax that has this ID. I'm going to say tax should be equal to tax.object.get ID equal to tax_id. Now say tax.title, and I'll say tax.title should be equal to request.post.get tax. Remember, that's the value. Remember, this is the actual input field here that holds the value we want, the actual value we want. Understand? This value, understand? So I'll be getting what I'm saying. So just copy this, Ctrl C, and I'll paste it here, and I'll say tax.save. Simple, understand? So this is for the, so now this is the if block. So we're going to have our else. Gonna just say else. So if this does not exist, it means we want to create a new to do, a new tax, a new to do item. So paste, yeah. So that is it. So I'm going to bring these two guys backward, so they're not going to be in the block. Okay, I think that is it. I hope it works. So the browser. So that's it for tax create. Tax, this view helps to handle both the create and the update, thanks to this append view that helps the understand. So let's refresh to make sure everything works, no errors out there. Let's say wash the clothes, and click on right now. We are trying to update wash the dishes, right? That's what we are trying to. So let's try it again. We are trying to update this wash. We are trying to update wash the dishes. So let's just say wash the clothes. Click on add. Boom, it's worked. And so let's just say go to work or go to church. If I click on Remember, once updates go to school, we click on this. Boom, it's worked. It's the same. We'll be able to update, we'll be able to create and update our to-dos. The next one to do now is for us to delete our to-do items. So let's do that right away. Okay guys, so right now let's work on deleting our to-do items instance. Go down to your task list again. So we're going to append once work on this once work with these delete buttons now. Okay, so I take it here, remove this a tag. That was when we were using, I think normal Django instead. Okay, so now I'm gonna say we could either use hx posts or hx delete. So we could use hs post or hs delete. So let's use hs post. Let's just stick with posts, and we're going to create a URL. I'll just call this task delete. Task delete, and I'm going to pass in the primary key. It's important because we are listing this to those by their ID, by their PK. Instead, I'm going to say task.id. I'm going to do that now. We're going to have the HS trigger. Don't you love HTMX? See how clean it's going, not too much stress. Understand? HS trigger, and we're going to simply say HX. What's it called again? HS target rather. HS targets. We are targeting the whole templates. Understand? Just where we had up here. How we are targeting now. Just copy this. Because whenever you delete it to do, want to simply reload the templates with the updated list of to-dos. In the style, what I want to do now, so we need to now swap out the old template. So we are targeting the old template. So I'll come down to where we have here. Now paste it. Okay, so let's go create this view. So now guys, now we're going to create a URL quickly. We'll say path. I'm going to say tax, and then I'm going to pass the primary key into PK. I'm going to call this delete, and then I'm going to call this views.task underscore delete, and the name is going to be equal to task delete. It must be the same thing. Even though it's not going to work, task delete. Understand? So let's go create the view. Okay, it's called task delete, right? Don't worry, I'm going to show the source code to you guys. I'm going to say request primary key. Now just come over here and say okay. The next thing to do now, I'm going to simply just get our task out here. We're going to get our task ID. Sorry, that means we won't get our task by its ID. I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry. Task.object.get ID equal to PK. So let's just print task to be sure we're getting the right thing. And we're going to return this. Let's just return HTTP response for now. Let's just say it is working. Nice. Okay. Hope it works. To the browser. Refresh this page. Oh, it should say task delete not found. Task delete. Okay. There's a mistake from my end. Let me check my. Oh, I spelled this wrongly. It's delete and not. That was the problem. Okay, click on this. Let's see. It's meant to give us a response on the page. Oh, it threw an error. It says CSRF token is missing. Okay, I'm going to explain what's happening over here now. So because remember we're writing a post request. This is a post request. Understand? This HS post. Also, the list is also like a post request. So because of this, we need to have our CSRF token. But mind you, this is not a form. How do we then apply? How do we then add the CSRF token? Remember up here, these are CSRF token because we are in a form. But currently we are not in a form. This is just an icon we are clicking on. And through the icon we are sending a post request. So how do we append the CSRF token? So Django already has provision for that. Go down to your browser and search for Django Htmx CSRF token. So click on the first link. Okay, just copy this function. Copy the function. Go down to your base.html, your base template. So at the bottom, create a script tag. Script. And paste it there. So once you have that there, you're making progress. Go down to Htmx. We are going to scroll down through this stuff. There is a place for, let me just look for WebSockets. Sorry, there's no WebSockets. That was a mistake. It should be events and login. Events and login. Click on that. So just scroll down. Okay, we have it here. So just copy this code. Copy it. Go down to your script tag in your base templates. Understand? Go back there and then just simply paste it there. So what's going to happen now is this. Okay, now so we're going to remove this second line. We don't need that one. We only need the headers, not the parameters. Understand? Okay, now so from what Django gives us, go down to your Django, the link just here. So Django now. So you can see what we have here. Our headers. We're going to copy this as the key. Copy this key XCSRF token. Copy it. Come over here. We're going to paste that inside of this bracket, and we're going to copy this CSRF token. Control C. I will paste that here. CSRF token is coming from the function we copied up top. This is a key, and so we call this name. That's Django standard. Understand? So that is it. Okay, now it should work now. Go down to your views.py file. Oop, this is recording. Okay, it's recording. So go down to your views.py file. So what is going to happen is that we're going to have it is working on the page. You understand? That was going to happen. We're going to swap out the whole page. Remember, we are swapping it out, and we're going to have it is working. We are just testing things out. That's not the final solution. So we're going to have it is working. Okay, so the browser, refresh, click on delete. You can see it says it is working. We are not done. I'll just show you something. Okay, everything is good. Okay, now what's going to happen now? We're going to simply just say, you can see we have it printed out here. Wash your clothes. So I'm going to just say task.delete, and now we're going to simply render out the old task again. Task should be equal to task.object.all. We're going to simply return the template. This template we've always been returning. Just copy the to context and then paste it here. But remember, we're going to replace our page with this template again, and then we have to pass in tags to the context. You understand? That's really important. Okay, before we go, one more thing, we're not done. So we need to also add a confirm statement that tells us, are you sure you want to delete this thing? Are you sure you want to delete it? Go down to Htmx, look for where we have confirming on this. Okay, you can see confirming here. You can see it says, just copy this, are you sure? Okay, go down to your template where we have, so let's add the confirm there. It asks you, gonna say, let me just say, I'll just simply say deleting. I want something short. I'll just come over here and say deleting just say task.title. So you're going to ask us this question, deleting. So let's see. Click on, you can see it asks you, are you deleting washing clothes? It's asking you. You can see go to church, are you deleting that? Instead, so reading 2 chapters, playing PS5, click on OK. Oh, it's not gone. What's the problem? Did we make any mistake? So the views.py tax.delete, you have parentheses attached to it. That was the problem. That was the issue there. Refresh. play PS5 is asking you now. If you say okay, it's going to delete it, it's gone. Learn to code, you click okay, it's gone. Okay, so the last thing we want to do right now is this. Now we want to simply have a checkbox left marked if a to-do has been completed, and also want to strike the text. We want to strike it through. If a to-do has been completed, we want to have the checkbox marked, checked rather, and also strike through the text. Understand? So we're going to come down to our views, so our template rather. I'm going to say if task.completed is equal to true. If it is true, okay. So what I'm gonna do now is this. I'll simply copy this, Ctrl C. If it is true, what I don't do, paste it here. Now just come on, look at this. Where's our checkbox? Show yourself my checkbox. Okay, this is our checkbox here. This is it. So I'll simply just come here and say checked rather. Okay, I think it spells correctly. And then I'm going to simply just add a style here. I'm going to say style should be equal to, I'll say text decoration should be line through. Oh, hope I'm correct. Line through. This is for the if it is completed now. So for the else part, else, let me just paste in the normal stuff we have there. So I'll delete this what we have here. Let's remove it, we don't need any more. Okay, to the browser, refresh. Okay, nothing has been completed yet, so go down to your admin. So let's just save it to chapters. Okay, open it, click on completed, go to charge, click on completed, save, go down to your to-do now, refresh this page. You can see that's fine, but right now we want to be able to implement this from the front end. So how do you go about that? So the same process. Okay, so right now we're going to simply go down to the checkbox. This is our checkbox here, understand? So we're going to add this code to the checkbox. This it over here, understand? So the same thing, we're going to do the same thing for the else checkbox also, for both of them. So let me just start with this. Remember, it's hx posts, understand? Okay, so the URL, I just say URL, I just say task status, right? I'm going to pass the tax ID, that's important. We're going to get this tax by ID. So I love to create, let's create the URL ASAP. I will just copy one of these. I'm going to say tax name, let's just say status. Tax status here, and tax status. So let's go. Okay, the views, leave the views for now. Let's continue. We are going to create the views now. So the trigger is a click, hx trigger. It's going to be a click on the task. And what else again? We're going to simply have the hx target. So our target is what? Is the whole template, understand? That's the target. So just copy this and paste here. Because I said the old template, that's because whenever you update a given task, you want to simply have the old to do rendered again, showing us the completed and the incompleted tasks, understand? Okay, so I'm going to just copy this same stuff here, remember, and paste it for the else block. Okay, so let's go create our view, tax status. Okay, task status, and this is recording. And I have the request and the primary key. And I'll say task should be equal to task.object.get id equal to pk. And I'll say if task.completed, okay, let me just say equal to true. If task has been completed, they're going to change it back to task.completed equal to false. And else, so the else block, if task hasn't been completed, we're going to just say task.completed should be equal to true. Hope you get what is happening there. And I'm going to just say task.save. So I am wondering if this should be under each of the I'm thinking if I should copy and paste this under the if block and also in the else block. I don't know, I'm not sure now, but let's see if it works. That means I'm correct. So now I'm going to get all the tags from our database. I'm going to say tags should be equal to tags.objects.all, and then it's going to be into a context. And I'll say tags, and then we're going to return this template. Remember, we are trying to swap out the old template instead. So hope it works. It's the browser. Click on this. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, it's meant to have structured this text. I think that because let's put this under each. Let's Ctrl X. Hope there was no error. And I said it didn't. Let's see. Oh, it didn't work. Let's see what the problem is. It says request is not defined. Line 57. Return render. Oh, I spelled request up here wrongly. Okay, I think this should work. Let's try it again. Remove that for now. Refresh. Oh, it's okay. Let's add a new to do. Play PS5. Let's say learn JavaScript. Okay, let's try tracking them through. Oh, it's working. It's working. If I strike it out, it goes out. It goes out. You'll see. If we go back to the server now, to my backend, we are going to only have these two completed. Wash your clothes and go to church. So now let's see. Wash your clothes, completed. Go to church, completed. That's the only two that we have completed. Let's check all the other ones. Play PS5, not completed. Hope you got some value in this video. So we're able to build a Todo app that covers the basic stuff you needed to cover with a self-help book. It's added. Let's try update this to read a. Let's just say read a book. And then it was wrong. It's add. It's been updated. I could delete it. Okay, it's gone. Delete, gone. Edit this to PS4. Add, done. Tick as completed. I'm able to go. So right now you should just build a to-do application using Django and Htmx. I really hope to enjoy the video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see in the next video. So we are going to see in the next video. So stay blessed and bye bye.